let's play some vinyl. Yeah, I was at the flea market, the Market of Fleas, the other day, and I was able to find a turntable, and it was like 20 bucks, and I was like, well, I asked the guy, he's a Hispanic guy, I said, well, does it work? He said, well, my family just played it last week, you know, and I said, well, I don't know, you know, and I got to looking at the cartridge on it, and where the needle comes out, stylus, where the needle comes out, and there was no needle, and he says, oh, they just played it last week, and it was 20 bucks, it looked like it was pretty cool looking, like, you know, it was like cool enough, again, 20 bucks, and so, I said, if I take it home and it doesn't work, and I've been seeing this guy up there quite a bit, because I visit the flea market quite a bit, and he says, well, if it doesn't work, you bring it back. All right, I'll give it a try. And so I got it home and realized, just like I thought, it didn't have a frickin' needle in it, because I looked at it and it didn't have a needle. So I did have another turntable, and it had another needle, and another stylus, another cartridge, however you want to put it. I can show you what I'm talking about. Give me just a second, I'll show you. This really has nothing to do with brewing, but I figured I'd show you anyway. Okay, let me turn this down. Okay, this is the, okay, I don't know what the name of this damn whole thing is when you hold it like this. This is what holds the needle, and this is the whole, is it focusing? Okay, that's what holds the needle and the cartridge and so on, and this is the cartridge thing underneath it. I'm not going to take it apart, but anyway, this little white part pops out, and you can get different grades, different qualities of these things, and you just pop another one in. And what it all really amounts to is there's 4 little wires that come out of there. Hopefully this is doing some kind of justice for it. My light's not the best in here, but it's got 4 little ones, and you have to set it with the little screws there to where it tracks properly along the album. Okay, crash course cartridges. But anyway, the little white part pops out, and you put new white parts in there. I had another turntable. I have another turntable, and I popped that cartridge out, and it just coincidentally fit into the other part. And so there it is. It's got all the little connections there in the end, which is just 4 little. Right. Anyway, to most, this is a pretty common thing. Let me see if I can see what you're saying, and I'll bring you a little closer. This is the turntable that I got from the flea market. Down yonder way, a little too close. Alright, I haven't ever tried this crap. Anyway, this particular one is a gem sound. It's supposed to, if it's all hooked up right, it's supposed to be able to go USB. So what that would allow me to do is to transfer albums to MP3s, so I can use MP3s. Now, when I got it home, I realized it didn't have what they call a counterweight, and that's this thing back here. This counterweight. Okay, it's supposed to be round. It's not this one that's supposed to be on there. I was past another turntable, and that turntable had a counterweight that I just happened to cram on there, and it's working. So anyway, yeah, let me show you my little turntable. This particular album, and I'll probably be cited for whatever. Let me preface this with, once upon a time, my brother-in-law had a stack, I mean a shitload of albums. Now these are ones I grew up with. These albums, let me talk to you for a second, boys, and back you out to where you're not looking at my nose hairs. The other way, that way. Oh goodness, alright. So anyway, my brother-in-law, he's always been not just DJ, not just music extraordinaire, but he used to produce. Well, he was a DJ also. It was for an AM station here in Texas, in Conroe. It was called KIKR, Kicker Radio, which means like redneck or country boy or whatever. 8:80 a.m. and he let me come in. He worked the evening shift, and so you know he didn't do like the morning show or whatever. But he would let me start some of the music for him. So he turned me on to music and soundboards and things like that. And so he had this he had a turntable, but he hung it from what they call jack chain. It's like very thin chain, and this chain that hung from the ceiling made it so no matter how loud it was in there, and no matter how driving the bass was, and no matter how loud it was, the needle would never skip on the record. Okay, get it? All right. So, excuse me. So it never skipped the record, you know, which was great, you know, which was great. So he had all this vinyl, and he was always kind of, you know, I don't know. I asked him, hey, can I play it? And he's like, yeah, you know, I'm not sure. I don't want you to wreck my stuff. And I was like, no, I'll be really careful with it. And so he had 2 children. The names are not important. Later on, through the years, he ended up giving up his huge record collection. He split that between the boys. And of course, being the music lover that he was, he had a lot of vinyl. Cheers, boys. It's not just about the records. We're talking about beer. All right. I know this has nothing to do with brewing. We're just playing here. You know, we're just playing. Okay. So anyway, but the boys, they went doing different things, and they kind of lost interest in the vinyl. And the person that they knew who liked vinyl was, well, me. So they brought over boxes of them, and so I have this tote, man. It's have a tote where they're stacked up, top, you know, vertically the whole way, and it's probably 3.5 foot long, and then there's some. I know it's a big no-no. There's some that are even on top of it horizontally. I know, big no-no. And just recently, I say recently, about a month ago, the other son come around and said, hey, I got a box of records. And sure enough, I go through there and it says the name, Dad's name, because they're marked on the corner, has Dad's name on there. So something tells me I came up with all of the same old records I used to play, the same vinyl or recordings, however you look at it. Anyway, so let's we're gonna check out this little turntable. Like I said, I told you just a second ago that another guy passed me a turntable. It's a direct drive, which means the motor is directly attached to the playing top. They call it a platter. Okay, it's directly tied to the platter. This particular one that I'm about to show you is a belt drive. Freaking gnats in here. Sorry guys. This particular one is a belt drive. I played with it a little bit last night, and I realized it's very accurate. The motor is strong, and you'll see. It'll cue it up real quick. It'll bring it right to life all of a sudden. Let me show you how this goes. Cheers, boys. A good turntable, just like a good car, will go from 0 to the speed in no time at all. That's what this one will do. Okay, let me get you back down here, and we'll talk about this a little bit. Alright, so, like I said, this is Def Leppard Pyromania, for example. This we're going on the second track, which is going to be Rock of Ages, which is thing. I'm trying to get one that starts out pretty fast, and you'll understand why when I go to do what I'm doing. So the needle is off the record, and we're going to go ahead and drop the needle down. It should be pretty close to the second one. Actually, let's go and turn it on, and we'll see where we're at. Oh yeah, give it some volume. I am on track 12 over here on the soundboard. Okay, so not ready quite yet. Let's go on and move it forward. Okay, so okay, let's back it up a little bit. Okay, I'm not sure if you just heard that. Okay, different needles can do like the back masting and the weeky weeky week. This is not one of those needles. I am only moving it back and forth through the grooves to cue it, to make it ready. Okay, so you see right there, That sucks. Don't ever do that, boys. Alright, let's try this one more time and I'll show you what I'm talking about. We'll start the thing. We're at the end of that song. We're going to hit stop right there. You just go woo woo. Okay, so we're going to back it up very gently. I'm not sure if you can hear this audio at this point. Hear that woo woo. Okay, so that's the first part of that song. That little bit is the first part of this song. So, got it? Hopefully y'all can hear that. So right there, this is where the music starts. We're gonna move it back just a little bit. We're gonna move. Y'all can see what I'm doing. Okay, we're gonna move it from here back around to the needle. I haven't played with vinyl in so long. This is a very delicate thing. It's just not something you can bash around. It doesn't take much to upset it. Not to mention, like I said, the counterweight isn't the right one, and it's not quite set right at this point. Nevertheless, here we are. Oh, you can kind of see the meter too, can't you, in the video? Okay, yeah, you can kind of see the meter too. Right, so that's the sound that's coming through the board. Pardon the little hum in the background. I don't have it. There needs to be a ground also. My voice has nothing to do with that. There's no microphones in here, so what you hear is simply off of this thing, you know? You can see that the meter's bouncing just because I'm touching the record. Okay, so here we are. That's where the music starts. We're going to back it up. And so, if it can start in that little bit of distance and be at full speed already, then this is a really strong player and it's right on the money. Very carefully, we hit the start button. 3, 2, 1. Just that fast. So you see, it doesn't take much for it to get started from when the point it starts. So, that's where the other side. Okay, we're going to back it up. That's our cue spot, and we'll back it up just some. So as one song ends, the other one goes. So you get the idea. Yeah, this one here is pretty accurate, pretty fast. Oh my goodness, I'm close. So it's pretty accurate, pretty fast, and I will. What I'm going to do is I'm going to. The weight that's on the needle, working with the counterbalance, it has to be a certain level. I have a little tiny meter, a little tiny scale. It's like anywhere from 3 to 7 grams, and it doesn't seem like much difference. A gram is about the weight of a paper clip, you know. So that's just, it's a small increment. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to research the what it needs to be. First, see if I can. I've already researched trying to find a counterweight for it. I'm not gonna be able to find that. I don't think. I've searched really hard, and they keep sending me around, and it goes around and around, and I ain't finding it. Anyway, I will make something work and set it to their specifications, so that I can have a general consensus as to what it takes to run records without like tearing holes in them and tearing up their little grooves and stuff. I figured I would show you what I had going on. I'll probably edit some of this stuff out just to make it a little more interesting, but just goofing off tonight with some vinyl and excited about playing some records, man. There's so many of them, and I think I'm gonna have a good time with going back through the old school records I used to play years and years ago, and I think it's gonna have a lot of fun with it. Again, this one is a USB type. In other words, I should be able to run that to my computer, and I have like some extra like external drives. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I have some external drives, and so I'm gonna save a lot of that stuff onto external drives and get them cleaned up real nice to where the audio quality isn't, you know, get them cleaned up pretty good. I've done this years ago. Without that, I forgot how I did it though. You know, I was running it through the soundboard and I run it back to the computer some which way. I forget. It's been a long time ago, but I used to have it set up a lot like what I have now, but in an older place. And hell, it must have been 10 years ago that I was doing that stuff. And so I have MP3s where it has that you know. But after the music starts, you don't hear that, and it rocks. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with good old vinyl. Y'all dig up your albums and find you another needle if yours is broke. It's a lot of fun. Yay, Craig too, for doing the kind of the same thing that what I'm talking about. I've always dug vinyl. Y'all break out your old vinyl and spin them some more, boys. Turn your kids onto that stuff. It's still, I mean, just the whole nostalgia of a record across a piece of vinyl, and then it makes all that sound. It's quite impressive. All right, guys, let me get out of here. I wasted enough of y'all's time. It's just another hobby, you know. Hey, you grow your own vegetables, play on the vinyl, brew your own beer. Do what you do, man. Have a good time. Tick tock, your life's passing you by. Enjoy every minute of it. Force be with you. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, blah, blah, blah. Love y'all. Take care and be careful. Drive safe. Watch out for dirty leg girls. Oh, wait, now you're just getting silly. Alright, good. Get love, kids. Y'all take care and adios.
Sleep and he farts in his chair, but he's